Hi guys, I'm Ana Cheri and welcome back to OFTV. So today we are going to be making some St. Patrick's Day cake pops. I'm really excited because this is a very fun recipe. So before we get started, I'm going to tell you everything that you're going to need and then we will jump into it. So first things first, we have our cake fresh out of the oven. You're going to need a full box cake. I'm using gluten-free and we're going to be mixing this up in our stand mixer. So you don't need to use a stand mixer, it just makes it so much easier if you do. And then next thing you're going to need is some chocolate because we're going to be dipping these cake pops into chocolate. So get your chocolate and then you're going to need something to heat it up in. And I have a spatula, you can use a spoon, whatever your preference is. And then we are going to need essentials, our cake pop sticks, you can get these on Amazon. And you're going to need either a Ziploc bag or I actually have a piping bag because we're going to be doing some detail work on the top of the cake pops. And then you're going to want something to pop the cake pops in, like a little stand, because they're going to be going upside down eventually. Okay, and the last thing you're going to need is going to be a scooper. You can also use a spoon. This just makes it so much easier again. And then today, I'm going to be wearing gloves. This is optional if you're making your cake pops for yourself. That's totally fine. But I am making this for myself and family, so I'm going to be using gloves. So let's get into it. And I'm going to be putting my gloves on, like I said before. So let's get gloved up. Okay. We're going to put the cake into the mixer, so just dig on in and start taking handfuls, putting it into the mixer. It smells so good in my kitchen. I added some gold sprinkles to the cake because it is St. Patrick's Day, so keeping everything festive and on theme. Okay. All right. So now we're going to give this a mix. Okay, so our cake looks great. We're going to take it off and we're going to start forming the balls. So I'm going to be using parchment paper today. You don't have to, but using this is going to make things so much easier. Okay, this is where your scooper comes in. So we're going to take a scoop of the ball, and then we're going to form the ball with our hand. All right, so we have our beautiful little cake pop balls. It is time to melt our chocolate. So we're going to add about half of the bag. There we go, about half the bag. It's about 1 cup. So we're going to put this into the microwave, and mine is right here. And we're going to be mixing it in 30-second increments. All right. Is it catching, Easter? Mm-hmm. All right, we are getting there. Look at that. Starting to melt down really nicely. Probably one more round in the microwave and it should be ready to go. We can start dipping. Ooh, perfect. Yes, it is nice and melted and ready to go. Look at that. Perfect. So first step we're going to do with the chocolate is we're going to be taking our sticks and we're actually going to put the stick into the chocolate and then pop it into the cake balls. So we're going to get a nice little block like this on top. And then we're just going to push it right into the cake pop. And this is going to help our stick adhere to our cake pop. Think of it like glue. Little block. Push it right in. And you want to push it till it's about halfway in. So you don't want to go all the way to the base. It's getting a little hot. I'm just going to set it down. Okay, now that they're all popped up, we're going to put it in for just another like 10 seconds to make sure this is nice and melted before we pop the balls into the chocolate. All right, so that is perfect consistency. I'm gonna take my gloves off now because all I'm doing is dipping. So let's do the first one. In and up. Perfect. And we kind of want a little lip on the bottom because that's going to be our top of our pot of gold. Okay, so now we're gonna pop these in the fridge for about 15, maybe 20 minutes so they can chill, and then we're gonna decorate. Perfect. Okay, so let's get to decorating. First thing we're gonna need to do is melt the last of our chocolate. We're gonna put it in this piping bag. So this should melt pretty fast because it's just a little bit of chocolate. Into the microwave. So we're gonna give this a stir because it might not need one more pass. Yeah, that actually looks good. So we're just gonna end up putting this into the bag. And like I said, you can use a Ziploc bag if that works better for you as well. Glove. And then we're going to spoon this in. Perfect. So let's decorate our first cake pop. So how cute is this? I'm gonna add a little bit of chocolate on top. And then we're going to add a bit of sprinkles, like so. You know what, guys? I forgot to put my gloves on. I'm gonna put my gloves on real quick. We're just gonna pop this in here and hold it like that. Like I said, if you're doing this for yourself, you don't really need gloves, but since I will be sharing this with my family and friends, I'm just gonna pop these on. All right, let's continue. So now you can do as many toppings as you want on it, but I'm actually gonna do one rainbow and one little hat on each one. Look how cute that is. My goodness. I love a theme. And I feel like this is the part that I always have fun with. I love decorating. Again, just chocolate on the top. Some sprinkles, and I'm just gonna do this over little rainbow things. So if I make a mess, it's okay. And then a rainbow and a little hat. Okay guys, and if you wanna get really creative, you can do little handles on the side of your pot of gold because pots of gold usually have handles. And it's all about the details. I cannot wait to share these with my friends and show them because I feel like they're gonna be blown away. Okay, you guys, I'm so happy with how these came out. They are so cute. And I hope you try this recipe. I hope you do this step by step and they come out just as good for you as they did for me. And if you have any questions, just know that you can always send me a DM here and we can chat about it. And I will talk to you guys soon and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.